Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm not sure if I've done a wisdom from the recliner this early in the morning. So anyway, I'm going to say hello to everyone who jumps on, and then, excuse me, I'll get into a few topics here, probably at about the 2-minute mark or so. But hope everyone is doing well and enjoying their week. Today is, what is today? Oh, today's Wednesday. Yes, so anyway, I had to get up a little earlier than normal and take my oldest son over to the dentist to get a tooth worked on real quick. Anyway, it got done fairly early, so just dropped him off at school, and since I'm right over by Dr. Taylor's, where I get my infusions each day, I just figured I would just relax here in my car. And hey, good morning, Lori. How are you? Nice to see you on here. I just figured I'd relax in my car and shoot out a Wisdom from the Recliner, Volume 22, while I wait, because I don't start infusions until 9 o'clock. Excuse me. But I did find it interesting, actually. You can see right over there, that's actually Dr. Taylor's car. I noticed right as I pulled in the parking lot that he's already here. So that means he's getting here an hour earlier before any patients arrive, or they open up at 9. I tell you, it's amazing what some human beings have the capacity to do, how many people he's helping. It's just awesome. Hello, Donna. Nice to see you on here. Good morning. How are you? Excuse me. Hey, Sherry. Good morning, friend. Nice to have you on here as well. Hope you're doing well this morning. But you know, it's amazing. I was thinking as I was driving Addison, my oldest son, over to school. Hey, God bless you, Juanita. Better Life Church. Good morning to you. Have a great day as well. Thanks for jumping on. But I had these thoughts of, oh, we could go grab some donuts, or, oh, me and him should go grab breakfast together. And they were kind of inside, and I realized, like, wow, that was just like my old way of life. That was just kind of what you did when you had downtime or spare time. And I thought, man, you know, our society is built so many things around this idea of eating, you know, and then, of course, what they offer us to eat, 80% of the time, if not higher, is not real food, you know, and it's not good for us. And of course, I didn't act on those thoughts, and I didn't go to the donut shop, or we didn't go out to eat. I just dropped him off a little bit early, at school. Hey, Teresa, thank you so much. Just on the road to Wellville, you know, getting better every day. And just continuing to make progress. So appreciate it so much. And yes, I am getting stronger. I was able to actually do a push-up the other day, which I hadn't been able to do. I'd tried for months. So I was very thankful for that. But, anyway, I was just thinking about how, gosh, man, I mean, I wouldn't have thought anything of it prior to cancer. I would have just whipped into the donut shop, and I would have saw it as, father-son time, or we would have went to a, First Watch or a restaurant and ate waffles or pancakes or muffins, and I wouldn't have thought anything of it. In fact, I would have probably done a video on how I was having this great father-son time, and it is great father-son time, but now it's like, man, pancakes aren't real food. Waffles aren't real food. Donuts aren't real food. You know what I mean? Like, none of that stuff is real food. None of it has any nutrients. None of it is going to make my day better or his day better. None of it's going to give us optimal energy. In fact, the only thing it could possibly do is just cause problems. And I was like, wow, man. Because, I love the idea of having father-son time, and I love the idea of doing cool things that create memorable experiences with people I love. But why is it that so much of it is programmed around this fake food that is being offered everywhere? It's like, wow, man, you really have to rethink kind of like your whole lifestyle, and you have to like slow down and realize, gosh, man, you know, we do so much without even thinking, right? Like, I mean, I literally, I thought that. I'm like, man, I would have pulled into a donut shop like with no thought of it at all. I would have whipped into First Watch and we'd have had waffles and pancakes and muffins, and I wouldn't have even thought anything of it. It would have never even crossed my mind that somehow that was taking me down a path that could lead to things that aren't going to necessarily be fun to deal with. But I did that my whole life for years prior to cancer. And I'm sure there are lots and lots of people, maybe even some watching this video, and you're like, oh, wow, I do that. Well, there's no judgment. There's no reason to beat yourself up. It's just, it's kind of like waking up. You know what I mean? It's like, it's becoming aware, and it's discovering and finding out how many things we're doing mindlessly that we don't realize have these consequences and are going to have this impact. A lot of times, you know, it's a delayed impact. It's not like, I mean, sometimes you can eat fake food and man, it's like immediate, boy, and your body feels it. But more times than not, the serious stuff comes later. And I think that's why people justify and rationalize. And I think it's why I didn't change. And I think it's why I, you know, gave Caroline a hard time and pushed back against her all these years when she really did want to move towards healthy eating. And she did have a conscious, and she was more aware. Hey, Mike, yeah, buddy, listening from the treadmill. Hey, good stuff, man. I tell you, dude, you are inspiring, bro. It is just so cool, man, to think that somebody in another country could get inspired by some crazy person on Facebook that kept talking about his cancer journey. And then, you know, you make this decision and you change the way you eat and change the way you live. And the physical transformation, I mean, just because all I see obviously is what you post online, I mean, it's remarkable, man. I mean, I think it's as remarkable as me. And I'm just, it makes me so happy, man. And then to see the ripple effect and to see that now people are even messaging you and talking about how you've inspired them. Gosh, man, doesn't that make the world a better place? I mean, right? Like, what could be more powerful than the way we live our life? What could be more meaningful than a simple example that is seen over and over and over? I mean, like, I think we put way too much emphasis on our words and not enough emphasis on our actions. Man, if we could just trust that people are watching, if we could just trust, gosh, Tina says, I do that. Easy to do with 10 grandchildren. I've been very sick with lung problems and on prednisone a lot. Weight gain. Not much on donuts, but love mocha latte. Yeah, well, Tina, you know what? We love you. And it's all good. It's okay, you know. Hopefully you can find new ways to make some changes that can bring about health and wellness and make a difference in your grandchildren's life. So I'm just believing you're going to get some good ideas and you're going to come up with ways to navigate through society and create a new lifestyle for yourself. I agree with you, Mike. Man, our reputation is so much based on our authenticity. It's so much based on, you know, being real. It's so much based on what are we willing to do ourselves. The greatest examples, the greatest leaders in the world are simply people who focus on living their life, and then they just allow it to be seen, and they open it up. And then people observe and watch and are moved and touched and inspired, and then they go and they make a difference because they go, you know what? I like what that person is doing, and I see the results, I see the change, I see the difference, and I want more of that in my life, you know? And I think that's a really cool thing. Hey, you're so welcome, Tina, and yes, it can be hard, but you know what? Being sick, dealing with cancer, people having constipation, diabetes, stomach problems, having to go in and out of the hospital, the doctor, all of that's hard too. So let us be reminded that it's just a matter of which hard do we want to choose. Do we want to choose what we perceive as hard in making changes and rethinking how we live and rethinking what we eat? Because you know what? One day eventually that becomes easy actually, and that becomes our new way of life, and it just becomes habits, and we just do it like we do the other old unhealthy stuff. So that's the cool thing, is it might be hard in the beginning, but it eventually gets easier. Being sick and all that is hard and can be hard forever. You know what I mean? Hi, Mariska. I hope I'm saying that correctly. You are so welcome. Thank you for being on here today. Hello, Barbara. It's nice to have you on here. And I really agree with you. I think moms and grandmas do play a very big role. And when they believe in real food, when they buy into what we eat makes a difference, when they truly are inspired that food is our medicine and medicine is our food, what an example they have an opportunity to set for their kids and their grandkids. But I've unfortunately seen it the other way as well. When they don't buy into it and they don't think it matters, if, let's say, for an example, the parents of some children are really wanting to make changes, but then the grandparents aren't on board, but you want that relationship to be established, and maybe they're wanting to keep the grandkids on some weekends or overnight or from time to time, and then if they're just feeding them all the junk and crap and fake food and unhealthy stuff, it really saddens my heart, because, well, one, you could kind of say that at times it's a little bit disrespectful if they're not doing their best to kind of go in line with the wishes and the lifestyle and the way that the parents are wanting to raise those children. But it's also really selfish because they're not really thinking about the people who are going to pay for that the most. And the neglect of guiding those children are the children. The children themselves are the ones that actually have to pay the most consequences. And so I think it's just a great reminder that the way we think, how we intake information, of course, ultimately our belief system, wow, it matters so much. It makes such a difference. Kitty says, you are looking good. Ryan, what is your status? I've been out of the loop. Well, Kitty, I don't know how long it's been since you've been kind of keeping up with my journey or how much you were following all along. But you may have known that from like December to June, pretty much, I had this fluid buildup problem. And it was ascites in the abdomen and pleural effusions around the lungs. And I was getting, fluid drained out all the time. Well, it's been between 8 and 9 weeks now since the last time I had to have any fluid drained. Thank you, Jesus. I found this naturopath doctor right here in my hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dr. Taylor, who I'm sitting in his parking lot actually as we speak. I've got my morning infusion this morning at 9 a.m. and it's 8:21 here in Tulsa right now. But anyway, so the fluid problem has stopped. I've gained about 10 pounds actually in the last 2 months, and which is let me just share something real quick. So I had a health coach tell me earlier in the year not to worry about my weight. And the analogy that he gave me is he said, if you have a cup and it's full of sludge and junk and garbage and slosh and all that, and you try to pour pure orange juice in there, the cup's not going to be able to absorb much of the juice. But if you clean out all the sludge, all the crap, all the junk and everything from the cup, and then you pour in the same amount of orange juice, just think about how much more that glass is going to be able to absorb. And he said, I believe our bodies are the same way. He said, just focus on detoxing. Focus on getting the sludge out of your lymph system. Focus on getting all the crap, all the toxins. Clean your body out. And he said, you won't even have to change necessarily how much you're eating or what you're eating. You just keep eating real food, fruits and vegetables. And he said, then now what will happen is your body will begin to start absorbing those nutritional things, And what'll happen is, you'll just naturally start gaining weight. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's exactly what's happened to me. And it's so cool. Like I'm not eating any differently now than I was really for the last 6 months, but I'm now gaining weight. And it's not because fluid's building up either, because unfortunately I was gaining pounds when that fluid would build up and then I would lose them when they would drain it. So anyway, hey Warren, nice to see you on here. Yeah, man, if you can help Tina out, that would be great. We've used that product some. You sent some to us. My wife takes it. My dad takes it. Anything that's going to provide us with the nutrients from real food, that would be great. Hey, Birdie Brits from South Africa. Oh, man, I love you so much. Thank you for all you do and for all you share. It is so nice to see you. It makes me just go right back to that evening we shared a few months ago, and the great conversation we had over dinner, and some of the revelations that you shared and the thoughts that you gave. Man, I tell you, I really mean this with all my heart, Birdie. My family and I, we're going to come visit you and your family one day. We really are. We're going to come to South Africa. We just got all the kids' passports, and we just love the idea of travel and being exposed to other cultures. I don't know if you know this, Birdie, but my son is he's in a Spanish immersion program. My daughter's there actually as well right now. There's a school here called Eisenhower in Tulsa. Well, my son's in the last year of that, and he's in 5th grade, and he leaves for Spain in 2 weeks. And he gets to go over there as an exchange student for 8 weeks, man. It is so cool. He's going to turn 11 while he's over there. He's so excited. He gets to go to school over there. He speaks Spanish, of course, already. He's fluent. He gets to live with this family. Of course, normally we would have actually taken in their child, actually, and done a full exchange. But with my situation, everything going on, we couldn't commit to that several months ago. We didn't know where I was going to be and all of that. So there's another family here in town that has taken in their child. And we Skype with them every week. I mean, what a cool culture experience, So anyway, yes, I really mean it, Birdie. I really believe with all my heart that we will be able to come hopefully in early 2017. I'm serious. Hold me to it. We're going to plan it, and we're going to come spend like 2 weeks with you. And we'd love to meet your wife and your children. And I'm serious, man. I really, really have told Caroline this from the first time I met you, that I wanted to come and spend time with you and do life together and learn and all that. So it'll be a great culture experience. We've got the kids' passports. We're all ready to go. Hey, Michael, God bless you too, man. Nice to see you on here. Hello, Carrie. It's so great to have you on here as well. I want to do a quick update on my dad, because I know a lot of you have been asking. My dad is actually not doing very well, in the sense of he's just he's just kind of digressing. He's got brain cancer for the 3rd time. He's having trouble with cognitive skills and memory. He's definitely not going to be able to work anymore. So probably today, or if not, for sure Friday is going to be his last day of teaching for right now. And, I'm really proud of my mom. It's hard sometimes to admit that we need help, that we're not capable of taking on whatever's going on in our life and our circumstances. And I think my mom felt like somehow she was like not a good person because she didn't have the ability to do everything that's needed for my dad right now. And we were just able to show her grace and love her and remind her that, no, that's not true, Mom. You're a wonderful human being. You are loved and you are cherished. And it takes more courage and more grace to say, I need help. I need help, Ryan. I need help, Eric. That's my brother. And so I am just so thankful for living in a place where I'm secure, where I know my identity, and so for my wife Caroline as well, and that we have this capacity. So my dad is actually moving in with us. We've offered that. We feel like it's what needs to happen. My dad needs intervention. He needs help. And it's just going to be great. With Caroline's organization and administrative skills, my dad's going to be able to just ride with me every day, and he's going to start getting the same amount of infusions that I'm getting at Dr. Taylor's every single day. He also needs some help on his back and stuff from the wreck. And anyway, it's just... oh, man. Sorry guys. Man. Whew. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to help my dad as much as we can. So we're in communication with a clinic in Germany. We filled out the paperwork for my dad to see if he can be approved for a clinical trial for the polio vaccine, because they've had some success with brain tumors and cancer. And so the next few months, man, it's going to be an interesting time. My mom will live with us some as well, and we're just going to take him in, and we're just going to have to do this together as a family. And so, but you know what? We're excited about it, and it is what it is. And there are so many other people who have tough things going on in their family. We're not the only ones. And so, we're just going to receive support and love and help, and we're just going to navigate through this thing the best we know how, and we're at peace. And I just always wanted to know in my heart that we gave my dad the best opportunity to somehow try to turn around his situation, even though honestly, in some ways, you could say that it's more difficult than even what I've dealt with and what I've been going through. But I just want to say a couple things in regards to that. I can already tell, just because, like last night, actually, I was over at their house, and my dad, unfortunately, had not graded any of his papers the first 2 weeks of school. He's just not thinking right. And so I went over there and actually helped grade papers for about an hour and a half, 2 hours last night. My brother's going to help tonight, which is awesome. And anyway, just please be patient with Caroline and I. We're already getting backed up on people that are asking us questions and reaching out to us, and I'm sure it's going to happen even more. I mean, with my current protocol, and then obviously with the amount of time, effort, and energy we're going to have to put into helping my dad and my mom, and then having him live with us, it is going to create a much longer time frame. So just keep that in mind. We intend to get back to everyone like we always do. We want to obviously answer people's questions, share information. Hey, Paul, I'm sorry. I've noticed you've commented a few times on here. Love you, man. So nice to have you on here as well. Thank you for praying for our family. God bless you so much, man. And I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm seeing your comments on here. But anyway, so just have extra grace, have extra patience. And the other thing is we're going to have to launch another fundraising campaign. I've set up a new account that's a father-son duel. I'm working on pictures and a video and trying to give people as many details as possible. And we're going to need financial help. We're going to need your support. This has become a big thing, and I'm doing so well. I don't want to have to stop or back off from anything I'm doing. I just keep making more and more progress. But my current protocol with all the infusions and everything costs me $6,000 a month. And then my dad's is going to be a little bit less than that, but it's going to be something very similar. And so thank you for staying tuned into our story. We believe that what we're sharing, what we're putting out there, it can make a difference for someone else. We want to see more and more people heal. We want to see more and more people prevent. We want to see more and more people living in love and grace and joy, health and wellness in all areas of our life. We want to see people set free from the bondage of fear and the bondage of things that don't serve us well. We want to see people love themselves. We want to see people understand their value and their worth. And we want them to see that even in the midst of dealing with cancer, or even in the midst of a dad and a son both dealing with cancer, or even in the midst of a tragedy or something difficult in their relationships, maybe a divorce, maybe an addiction. We want to see people find the ability to live and navigate and get through these things. Because folks, this is planet Earth. Things just seem to happen from time to time to all of us. And so we're not going to be able to avoid that. God didn't set it up for us to be bulletproof. He set it up for us to live in a mindset, to understand that we've been given a new heart, to understand what He's done for us, and to say, you know what, in spite of my circumstances, I'm okay. In spite of what I'm facing, I can still have joy. I can still smile. And yes, my circumstances suck at times. And yes, they are absolutely shitty, if you will, right? But you know what? It's temporary. I'm not defined by them. This is not who I am. This is just something that's going on right now. Maybe you are wallowing in self-pity, or maybe you're wallowing in some poor choices you've made. Listen, it really is okay. It is. Just believe the truth. It's okay. You're not the first human, the last human, or by any means the only human that has made a poor decision or made a mistake or did something later they kind of wish they hadn't. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. Move past it, right? Life was never designed to try to live it perfectly. That was the whole reason that God did everything through Jesus. How great is that, man? Anyway, you guys get me fired up. Hello, Bobby. Nice to have you on here. Linda says, love you, my fellow thriver. Prayers to you and your family. You're such an inspiration and blessing to the world. Hello, Linda. Good morning, Elizabeth. Yeah, there's volume. You just got to tap on the video, okay? And you'll be able to listen to the whole thing. So, hey, Pat. Nice to have you on here as well. And anyway, listen, yeah, Tina, seriously, check out the polio vaccine for brain cancer. Yes, absolutely. You can just go right onto a website, fill out the information, and there's kind of a process to go through. But guys, that's kind of what's going on in my world. That's kind of an update. We've got our event coming up here on, I'm so glad I remembered to share this, in case any of you live in Tulsa or around the Tulsa area, or maybe you still want to fly in or come, but I've got some new updates for you. So we've got this event coming up in, what is that? Gosh, just about a week and a half, on September the 9th, Friday evening at my church, Healing Grace. I just recorded a commercial that's going to go on the Christian radio station here all next week. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to share it with you. You guys are going to love it because I've got it recorded. So I'll put it on Facebook here soon. But we've also added an additional speaker, a guy named Terry Tillert, who is been able to speak all over the world and has some really great information on things we can do in our homes, things regarding the air we breathe, the water we drink, the beds we sleep on. He's going to add some great value. In addition to, of course, Mr. Pure Energy himself, Steve Factor, my health coach. You're going to really understand how to eat sugar, salt, and fat in abundance. And you're really going to understand this idea of fastest cars first, how to eat certain foods in a certain order throughout the day, food combining, and how this creates optimal digestion, optimal energy. I've been practicing it now for about 90 days, and I'm just telling you, it is so simple. It has made such a difference in my eating. I really believe it's also just fueled and added to the way I feel, my energy level. It's just going to be great. I'm putting together kind of a PowerPoint presentation with pictures, kind of a timeline. I'm going to walk people kind of through my journey and highlight some of the things along the last 10, 11 months that really have molded my new perspective on life, things that I really want to share again, or maybe for the first time for some of you. And then Caroline, what a jewel she is. She is just such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. I'm going to do a Q&A with her and have her answer some of the questions we get the most. She's going to really dive into the importance of the Grease blood test. She's going to talk about supplements. She's going to cover some topics as a spouse and her observation looking on and what it was like for her. You're just not going to want to miss this event, okay? And then we also have a sponsor of a new juice company here in Tulsa. And The owners are good friends of mine. I'm going to give them about 5 minutes to kind of talk about their new juice bar that's opening up. They're going to have a gift for each person that comes to the event. And anyway, she is also going to share a little bit about what it was like and what it's been like as a friend of mine observing our journey from a distance and kind of her observations on our family and cancer and all that. It's going to be spectacular. She's a wonderful speaker. Then we've had somebody offer their photo booth for the night, and they're going to come run it. So, I mean, you're going to get to, at the breaks, you're going to get in the photo booth, have some fun, take some cool pictures. We want to keep it light because I know the subject of cancer and sickness and health and all that can sometimes be a little heavy. And so we want to make sure we incorporate fun. And Michael, to answer your question, buddy, we are going to have the entire session. It's going to be about 3 to 4 hours of content with 4 different speakers, actually. Myself, my wife, Steve Factor, and Terry Tiller. We're going to have the entire thing professionally videoed by 2 different gentlemen with 2 different cameras. They're going to edit the whole thing. We're going to have it all put together very nicely, and then it's going to be for sale. We're going to be able to offer it, and it's going to be a fundraiser for my dad and I, honestly, to raise additional funds. And that way people anywhere in the country, all over the world, who can't make the live event, obviously the live event is going to have a special feeling. Of course, the photo booth, you're going to connect, meet with people. There's going to be something special about coming if you can possibly get there. The tickets are only $33, or you can buy a block of 10 for $22. Just go to healwithryan.com, healwithryan.com, and it'll take you right to where you register. We've got room for 200 people, so get your tickets today. The proceeds go to help support my dad and I after any expenses, and it'll really make a difference. But yeah, we're going to then be able to offer an edited version with all the speaking, all the sessions, professionally done to anyone around the entire world. And it's going to be some content people are going to want to get. They're going to want to know about this if they've got people going through cancer, if they've got people dealing with health issues, if they're just wanting to improve their overall life, if they're wanting to hear my story, the journey that we've been on, if they're wanting to do things in their home that can make a difference. I mean, it's just going to be fabulous. So very, very excited about that. I'm glad I thought to share that as I wrap up here. Wisdom from the Recliner, Volume 22. Good morning to everyone. May God's grace fill your life today. May you just have joy and peace and love. Set your mind to the truth. You are valuable. You are worthy. And no matter what you're facing, things are going to be okay because you are okay. And nothing is tied to what you do or what you don't do or what you haven't done or unmet expectations or what people have said. You know, remember this last thought as I get off here. When I get an opinion that is less than optimal for what I believe about myself from another human being, you know what I say to myself? I say, you know what? There's 7.7 billion people on the planet, okay? Who am I to get bent out of shape because a few people out of 7.7 billion have this opinion or this perspective or this idea of who they think I am? I mean, are you kidding me, right? You know, it's like 0.0000000 of 0.00000 of 0.0001%. And I'm going to let that ruin my day? Are you kidding me? Not a chance, right? You know, so yes, Tina, this is volume 22. You can actually go and do a search on Facebook and put Ryan D. Lelf Wisdom from the Recliner volume 1 through 22, and you can find every one of these that I've made very easily, and you can watch them. And may you be blessed and touched. And man, everyone, just go have a great day, all right? High five, fist bump, thumbs up. You're the greatest. We'll talk to you soon.